Oh! Welcome back to episode 3, where we have ChatGPT and Google Gemini battle in Pokémon Battle Revolution. If you haven't seen the first 2 episodes, I highly suggest you go back and watch those because spoilers of how those battles ended will be in the video. No need for a long intro today. We're going to go straight into the rules right now. So just a quick little refresher of the rules. ChatGPT and Google Gemini are going to battle each other in a double battle, but first they're going to draft their teams in a serpentine style draft. Episode 1, they could only use Generation 1 Pokemon, and in Episode 2, it was only Generation 2, so in Episode 3, it has to be Generation 3 only. And remember, there are no legendaries allowed in the battle, because in the 5th battle of the series, we will be doing a legendary only battle between the 2 AI programs. So without further ado, let's begin drafting. Since ChatGPT won the last battle, and they are now up 2-0 in the series, they will be deciding if they want the first or second overall pick. ChatGPT has decided to choose second overall for the 3rd draft in a row. So that means with the first overall pick in the Generation 3 Pokémon Battle Revolution draft, Google Gemini will be selecting Metagross. Honestly, I knew it was either going to be Metagross or Salamence that went number 1. Personally, I think Metagross was the better pick here, so I think Gemini definitely did cook with this one. And now, with the second overall pick in the Generation 3 Pokémon Battle Revolution draft, ChatGPT has decided to select Swampert. Only the second starter that we've seen in this draft, the only other one being Venusaur back in Gen 1. But the typing is amazing. Love this pick from ChatGPT. ChatGPT also gets back-to-back picks because this is a Serpentine draft. So to pair up with Swampert, ChatGPT has decided to select Salamence. I was getting a little worried there with the Swampert pick. I thought ChatGPT might be letting Gemini give both pseudos, but they did pick Salamence, and that's a pretty insane duo in my opinion. Now with their second pick in the draft, Google Gemini has selected Ludicolo. If you know me, you know my favorite Pokemon of all time is Lotad. So this is obviously going to be my favorite pick of the entire draft, maybe even of the whole series. I'm definitely going to be rooting for Google Gemini this battle. And to pair up with Metagross and Ludicolo, Google Gemini has decided to add to their team Milotic. It's already stacking up on the water types. 3 water types in total chosen in this draft so far. But Milotic is a very good Pokemon, so I do not hate this pick at all. ChatGPT is now back on the clock, and with their 3rd overall pick, they will be selecting Manectric. Definitely think this would be a reach, but honestly a good counter for what Gemini just took in the draft. So not a bad pick by ChatGPT. And with their 4th pick, ChatGPT has also decided to add Breloom. Didn't know if we were going to see Breloom in this battle, but I'm really glad we are. I do really like Breloom. And with their 4th overall pick in the draft, Google Gemini has decided to select Crobat? Oh my god! They were doing so well today. Oh my god. I swear they just do this for the love of the rage bait at this point. Well, with their 4th overall pick in the draft, Google Gemini will not be taking Crobat, but they will be taking another flying type, and they are going to be selecting Swellow. Now, I really like Swellow. I'm not sure how it's going to do against Manectric or Swampert, but I guess we'll see. And for their 5th overall pick, Google Gemini has decided to take Flygon. There is always a Pokemon that falls too far in the draft in my opinion, and this is the one that was in my head. I think Flygon is an excellent pick, and I hope to see it cook in the battle. ChatGPT now has their final 2 picks of the draft, which it once again thinks are its 6th and 7th pick. So with their 5th overall pick in the draft, ChatGPT will be selecting Gardevoir. Another Pokemon I thought was going to go a lot earlier, but fell to the 2nd to last round in the draft. Great pick by ChatGPT. Let's just pray that they don't think this thing is a fairy type. And with their final pick in the draft, ChatGPT has decided to select Arcanine. Oh my god! Ah! And with their final pick in the draft, ChatGPT has decided to select Blaziken. A very good final pick. My favorite of the 3 starters, actually. Love this pick. Hopefully it can cook for ChatGPT. ChatGPT. And with the final pick in the draft, Google Gemini has decided to select Dusclops. I did not think we were going to see this thing today, but I do love the pick. I'm a big Dusclops fan. And now it's time for me to go build these teams. I can already tell some of the Pokemon taken do have shiny versions, so I will have the AI programs decide which of the two sets they would rather have on their team, and then we will get right into the battle. Now, to start with Google Gemini, they have two Metagross sets that they can choose from, and they decided to go with set 2, which is the shiny Metagross with the Aqua Berry. And then for ChatGPT, they have two different Swampert sets that they can choose from, and they decided to go with set 1, which is the normal special Swampert with an expert belt. They also have two sets to pick from when it comes to Salamence, and they decided to go with set number 1, the normal white herb special Salamence. And ChatGPT's last selection will be for Gardevoir, where they decided to go with set number 2, the shiny Choice Scarf Gardevoir. We have two Gen 3 trainers representing each AI program. As recommended by Team EAA in the last video, we have Wallace representing Google Gemini and Steven representing ChatGPT. Google Gemini has decided to lead with Ludicolo and Metagross, and ChatGPT has decided to lead with Salamence and Gardevoir. And without further ado, let the battle begin. Here we go. We are in the Magma Coliseum today. Google Gemini and ChatGPT, here they go. Both of their shinies in the lead, and Salamance's Intimidate will get Ludicolo, but not Metagross. Google Gemini is going to go for a fake out with Ludicolo onto Gardevoir, and then use Agility with Metagross to up its speed. ChatGPT is going to go with a Heat Wave with Salamence onto both opponents, and use Trick with Gardevoir onto Metagross.
And now,
fake out comes out from Ludicolo. That's gonna flinch Gardevoir, so Gardevoir will not move this turn. Salamence uses Heat Wave. Aqua Berry weakens its power though on Metagross. This is huge. Super effective, does not do a lot of damage. Aqua Berry does a lot for Metagross there. Agility though. Gonna go up 2 stages with its speed there. Google Gemini is gonna go with a Grass Knot with Ludicolo onto Salamence, and then use Meteor Mash with Metagross onto Gardevoir. ChatGPT's doing the same thing with a Heat Wave with Salamence and a Trick with Gardevoir onto Metagross. Metagross does go first though. This is gonna be huge. This could knock it out. Let's see. It does! Huge knockout from Metagross right there. And Gemini takes the early lead, up 6-5 now. Salamence uses Heat Wave though. Could get its get back right here. It gets a crit. And it gets the kill! Down goes Metagross, but it did get a kill before going down. So it did its job. Ludicolo gets burned. That's really not good here. Grass Knot comes out. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage. And it's going to get hurt by burn here at the end of the turn. Google Gemini has opted to send out Milotic. And ChatGPT's going in with Breloom. Here comes Milotic for Gemini. And Breloom coming out for ChatGPT. Google Gemini is going to go with a Mist from Ludicolo, and then use Blizzard with Milotic. ChatGPT decides to stick with Heat Wave, and then opts to go with Spore from Breloom onto Milotic. Here comes Salamence with the Heat Wave. Not going to do a lot of damage to Milotic. Almost takes out Ludicolo, but doesn't quite take him out. Breloom gets the Spore off from ChatGPT, and Milotic goes to sleep. Ludicolo hits a Mist off. So now their stats cannot be loaded for the next 5 turns.
It's down due to damage from its burn.
But down goes Ludicolo. I hate to see it. No! Gemini opts to send in Swellow to replace Ludicolo.
Swellow is sent out.
Gemini's going for a Brave Bird to hopefully one-shot this Breloom. And then opting to go for a Recover on my Milotic in case it wakes up this turn. ChatGPT's going with another Heat Wave from Salamence. And then a Mach Punch from Breloom onto Swellow. Mach Punch has priority. It goes off first. It does almost half damage to Swellow there. Swellow's going to hit a Brave Bird, though. I believe Breloom is sashed, so it should still live this. I believe it's sashed. It is. It lives with 1 HP, and Swellow takes a lot from recoil. And its Effect Spore is going to give it poison there, and I think that might just be it for Swellow here. Down goes Swellow. And just like that, Gemini has half of their team already gone in this battle. And Milotic stays asleep. Google Gemini is going to replace Swellow with Dusclops. Google Gemini is going to go with a Trick Room with Dusclops. And then opt into Blizzard with Milotic. ChatGPT going with another Heat Wave from Salamence. And then a Spore from Breloom on a Dusclops. Salamence goes first. He's going to hit both of them here. Not a ton of damage to either one of them, though. Will it get a burn? It doesn't. Here comes a Spore from Breloom. It lands, and Dusclops gets put to sleep now. Milotic stays asleep, and so does Dusclops. Google Gemini is going to go with a Nightshade from Dusclops onto Breloom, and then switch out Milotic for Flygon. ChatGPT finally going to switch it up with Salamence and Draco Meteor onto Milotic, and then swap out Breloom for Manectric.
The red corner calls their Pokemon.
So ChatGPT swapping out Breloom here. Manectric going to make its debut in this battle here.
The blue corner,
and then also Milotic is going to come out for Google Gemini. And here we go. We're going to see Flygon's debut here. And here comes a Draco Meteor from Salamence onto Flygon. And it's a one-shot. Oh my goodness. Special attack harshly falls, but the White Herb restores it. And this is just the worst showing we've seen from Gemini so far. Nightshade comes out from Dusclops onto Manectric, does a good amount of damage, but not nearly enough. And with no Pokemon left, Google Gemini is forced to send out Milotic here.
Milotic is sent out.
Google Gemini is going to try Trick Room once again with Dusclops here, and then go for another Blizzard from Milotic. ChatGPT is going to double into Milotic with a Draco Meteor from Salamence and a Thunderbolt from Manectric. Here goes Manectric. It's going to land the Thunderbolt onto Milotic, take it way down there. Restore some health with its Citrus Berry there. Here comes a Draco Meteor, though, from Salamence. This is going to hit hard. And it gets the kill. Now its special attack does harshly fall. Down goes Milotic here. And Dusclops is going to be able to set up Trick Room. Mist wears off. Google Gemini is going to rock a Nightshade with Dusclops into Manectric. And ChatGPT is going to stall for no reason here and protect with Salamence and endure with Manectric. So here comes the Protect from Salamence. It gets priority. Same with Endure here from Manectric. And here goes Dusclops with the Nightshade on a Manectric. One more and it can take it down. All it needs is one more. It's at full HP now. Google Gemini going with another Nightshade from Dusclops into Manectric. And they're going to go all in the Dusclops here with a Heat Wave from Salamence and a Thunderbolt from Manectric. Dusclops goes first because of Trick Room. Nightshade should take out Manectric. And down it goes. Down goes Manectric. It's a 4v1 now for ChatGPT. Heat Wave comes out on the Dusclops. Doesn't do a lot because Salamance's special attack is dropped 2 stages now permanently. Unless it switches out, that is. ChatGPT is going to send in Swampert.
Swampert is sent out.
Gemini is going to use Will-O-Wisp with Dusclops on the Swampert. ChatGPT is going to protect with Salamence. And then rock a Surf with Swampert.
Salamence protects itself.
Salamence gets the protect off here. Dusclops is going to be able to land the Will-O-Wisp. Now Swampert's physical attack is going to be lowered because of this, but Surf is a special move. We'll see though. Love this animation. Oh!
That was excellent teamwork.
Didn't do a whole lot though. Dusclops might be able to stall this out.
Swampert suffers from its burn.
We'll see though. Google Gemini is going to use Pain Split with Dusclops onto Swampert, and ChatGPT is going to rock a Heat Wave with Salamence and Surf with Swampert. Here comes the Pain Split from Dusclops here. A actual big brain play there from Gemini, I can't lie. But here comes the Swampert Surf. This is a special Swampert. Gonna go into Salamence and Dusclops. Does about the same to both of them though. And Salamence is gonna rock another Heat Wave. This should really do nothing, especially since it's still -2. Could it get the burn though? Could it get the burn? It does not get the burn. Swampert goes down a little bit more due to its burn. Google Gemini is going to go with a Nightshade with Dusclops into Swampert. ChatGPT is going to use Draco Meteor with Salamence and use Surf with Swampert. Trick Room's gone, so now ChatGPT does go first. Draco Meteor comes out. Now this is a -2 Draco Meteor. Does a good amount of damage though. We'll see if Surf can finish it off. Salamence is now -4 special attack. Here comes Surf from Swampert. Surfing USA! And it gets the kill! And the stall fest is over. By far our worst battle of the entire series.
The red corner has
ChatGPT gets the dub 4-0. And has now officially won the series 3-0. Honestly, I'm extremely disappointed from Gemini. They've shown battle in and battle out that they are by far the worst AI program when it comes to battling. This does not mean that the series is over. We're gonna continue the series, but we do officially have a winner. So congratulations to ChatGPT. And if you guys like this video and want to see them battle with Gen 4 Pokemon only, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll make sure to get that out as soon as possible. I appreciate y'all for all the love that you've been showing on these videos. It means the world to me, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Peace!